Today, I'm going to be talking about Devon Achane, who I think is the second best running back in football and should have been on an all-pro team this year. Just to read off some stats about Achane this year, he was 5th in rushing yards this year with significantly less attempts than all the guys in front of him. He was tied for 2nd in broken tackles. He was 4th in rush yards over expected, 7th in rush EPA, 1st in yards per carry, and 1st in rush yards after contact. This is with significantly less touches than everyone ahead of him on the rush yards list, and with one of the worst offensive lines in football. He's one of the only reasons Miami's offense was even watchable this year. Here's just a couple of highlights of how bad Miami's offensive line this year. This is a run over the left tackle, and he is hit in the backfield by Christian Barmore before he even touches the ball. The blocking on this team is truly horrendous. Jonas Savaiinaia has been a terrible second-round pick so far. He's very athletic, so there's easily time for him to improve. But this is just a terrible rep. Patrick Paul gets beat around the edge, too. There's nothing that he's able to do here. Even if he got to the cutback lane, there's still a guy in this spot, too. Here's another example against the Bills, who Achane actually played very well against in both games. This is a run to the outside, again, over this right tackle. Achane's hit in the backfield just as soon as he touches the ball. In an instant, Cole Strange is beat off the ball, and it's not even a competition. There's 3 guys that beat their man. This guy, Deion Walker, Joey Bosa, and then even Tre'Davious White coming off the edge. They're all in position to make this tackle before Achane, just as he touches the ball. Achane's stats would look a lot worse if it wasn't for his balance and his vision. On this play, this is supposed to be a run into the B gap right here between the right guard and the right tackle. The right tackle gets beat off the line instantly, isn't able to seal his man off, so there's nowhere for Achane to go. He sees this and does a great job bouncing to the outside, seeing Greg Rousseau not keeping contained and filling in this gap. And he's able to outrun Shaq Thompson and is able to get 11 out of something that probably should have been a TFL for the Bills. Another example against the Bills. This is supposed to be a counter to the left, so all these linemen are sliding to the left, and Achane takes the snap and is supposed to go to this side where the blockers are going. Instead, since the O-line does a bad job again, creating a hole for him, he finds this cutback lane and is able to take the hit from Tre'Davious White, keep his balance, and then run to get 15 on the play. Another great play from Achane. And you would think for such a small running back, listed at 5'9", 191, that he'd be a liability in pass protection. That is not always the case. He's actually pretty solid. This is a good rep against the Bills. He does a great job getting a cut block here to keep Tua standing on this slant route in the red zone. Upends the guy, and it leads to a touchdown. This is a good rep from him. Something that separates Achane from everyone else in the league, except for maybe Bijan, is his ability as a receiver. The Dolphins love to line Achane up as a wide receiver, standing like this in the slot. Sometimes he'd be where Darren Waller is, but with no slot receiver, just by himself on the outside. This might be the best catch from a running back I've ever seen. He's on an out and up here to the back corner of the end zone, and he makes an absolutely incredible catch. This is one of the best catches I've ever seen from a running back, and I'm not sure if anybody else in the league can do this. Another example of Achane being a great receiver for a running back is on this play against the Falcons. Achane's going to run a wheel route, and if the ball from Tua doesn't take him out of bounds, this would be on ESPN for the entire year as a catch of the year candidate. He gets the vertical separation, a solid 1.5 yards, 2 yards, and he mosses this linebacker entirely. Entirely mosses him. If this ball isn't thrown as close to the sideline and is thrown more up the field, it's probably a catch, and we're still talking about it to this day. But the overall reason that Achane is a top 2 back in this league is how explosive he is and how hard it is to bring him down. He was tied for 2nd in missed tackles as a 5'9", 190-pound back, and this play just shows one of the reasons why. He's going to be on a jet sweep here, and there's going to be absolutely no blocking at all. And he breaks the tackle here and is pinned against the sideline with 2 Washington defenders, soon to be 3, and these guys get back up, surrounding him. And he's still able to make a play and almost gets a first down. It's magical what he can do on the field sometimes. This is another example of Achane just being impossible to bring down. This is against the Jets. He's going to run up the middle right behind the left tackle, cuts through the open lane, great spin move. And again, I can't stress this enough. He is a 5'9", 190-pound back, carrying 3 guys on his back and breaking out of it. He just gets tackled by the ankles to stop this from being a touchdown. This is insane from a guy this small. And what I think is the best play of Achane's season this year is in this play against the Bills. He's going to come into the A-gap right here. The offensive line actually does a good job sealing the gap off. But Cam Lewis right here fills into the gap, and Achane just makes him look like a child. He makes him look silly. A great move in the hole with barely any space, stays on balance, and is able to break another tackle from Jordan Boyer to go for 60 yards for a touchdown, and essentially ice the game for the Dolphins. To me, Devon Achane is the second best running back in football, and he should have made this All-Pro second team instead of Christian McCaffrey.